Hello guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we are going to not troubleshooting yet. We are going to implement a remote access VPN, and this one is going to be implementing a clientless SSL VPN on a router. So on an iOS router, we are going to implement the clientless SSL VPN. I know you guys have seen this a lot from the ASA and how easy it is to set up, but I want to set it up from the iOS, and this is for the CCNP SIMOS XM, which I'm almost done. All I need to do is implement that IKE version 2 on routers, because from the routers it's all command line. From the ASA it's all going to be from the GUI, from the ASDM, so it's really easy to configure. And then after that, we're going to move on and do a lot of more configurations, but then we are going to just do more secure communications architectures, which is more reading than doing labs, right? So let's go ahead and start with this. Stop talking about it. And we are going to configure this MD server right here as the server that's going to have that VPN configured. So we're going to be configuring from this router. I have configured all the IP addresses and they're able to ping with each other. Okay, and I'm also going to create a little website at the end so we are able to access it from the SSL VPN, from the clientless SSL VPN. Okay, so I have a Windows device and the iOS server. Let's go ahead and start configuring. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and exit out here. And the first thing that I want to do, um, actually I have to go to config team and let's start configuring. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to create a loopback interface, and I want to give an IP address on 1.1.1.1.1, and then I guess you do no shutdown, exit, and then we are going to configure a virtual interface or virtual template 1, and we are going to do an IP on number, and we're going to mention loopback 1 or loopback 0, and that means is that I'm going to borrow loopback 0 IP address. So if we do a do show IP interface brief, you should see that the virtual template took the IP address of loopback 0 right here. Okay, so that's good. Exit. After we do that, we want to enable um, authentication. Um, we want to enable AAA, and the way they do this by doing AAA numerical. And then you want to do a authentication. I'm login, and I want to call this SSL underscore VPN, and we're going to be using the local account, and the local account has the username of my name, Oscar, and password is going to be Cisco. And this is what I'm going to be using to log in into that um, SSL website that I'm going to be connecting. I also want to do an IP HTTP server. I want to turn it on. And I also want to do IP HTTP secure server. And this is to turn on HTTPS. And this is to turn on HTTP. Okay. After that is done, we need to do an IP from over here. I want to do an IP domain name. Um, there we go. IP domain name ccdgt.com. The host name is already there, so that's good. Now what I want to do is I want to generate a key, an RSA key, and I'm going to call it SSL VPN key pair. And the modules for this going to be 2448. What did I miss? Let's see. Crypto key generate. Okay, modulus. I forgot to do label, that's why. So if we go back to over here, we want to label it this. There we go. That's going to create a 2048 size bit or key size bit, a 2048. There we go. It is done. Um, I think if we do show crypto key RSA, let's do that later, so we can see that crypto key. But let's go ahead and move on. And the next step that we want to do is we want to specify a trust point, and this trust point is going to be called SSL trust point, right? And this is a trust point that you want to, the PKI that you want to trust, right? And I'm going to give it a subject name if you want to, CN, to make it official. Let's just do FD NFA, and then we're going to do SSL VPN .ccdtt.com to make it looking official. And the RSA key pair, we need to attach that key pair that we just created, which is this one, SSLVPN key pair. Done. And then we have to enroll that trust point that we just created. But actually, we need to go back to the PKI, and we need to do a question mark. Let's do enrollment, and it needs to be a self-signed one. Exit, and then after that, you need to do a crypto PKI enroll, and I want to enroll that the one that I just created, which is SSL trust point. Paste, and you want to do. It's going to ask you, do you want to continue generating a new self-signed key? Yeah, you can say yes. No. No. Generate self-signed key. Yes, because I want to self-sign. I want to sign it myself since I don't have a server to do it. The router is going to sign it itself. Okay. So after that is done, we need to create the Web VPN, and it is the gateway Web VPN, and I'm going to call this SSLVPN underscore gateway. And this gateway is going to have the IP address because the gateway is where this Windows device is going to connect. So it's going to connect to 20.1.1.1. So I need to give it a IP address of 20.1.1.1, right? And the port that I want to be using is 443 because that's for HTTPS. And then HTTP redirect 80. So if they go to port 80, it's going to send it to 443. All right. And then we do SSL trust point, and we need to paste that trust point that we created. And then to turn it on, we gotta say in service. That's how you turn on that Web VPN gateway. Exit. So after we are done with that, we need to go ahead and create the Web VPN context. So let's go ahead and do Web VPN context, and we're going to call this SSL VPN underscore context. And inside right here, the first thing that we need to do is we need to add that AAA authentication that we created, which was a list, and we call this SSL underscore VPN, I believe. Let's go ahead and verify that that was the correct one. Otherwise, it won't be able to log in. There we go. SSL VPN. SSL VPN. Good. That's the correct one. And then we need to add the gateway that we just created, and we call that gateway SSL VPN underscore gateway. Enter. And then if you want to specify the maximum users that you want to connect to your Web VPN context, I want to do 100. Now we need to attach that virtual template that we created, and then we turn it on in service. And now you're going to see that the virtual access 2 is up and running. So that's good. After that, if you want to do a login message, you can do welcome to ccdtt.com. Enter. That's going to be the login message that's going to appear whenever we log in to that Web VPN website. And then we do the URL list, and I want to call this and this is going to be the URL that I want to add because I want to add this website right here. I just want to put over here website. That's fine. Um, the heading of it, let's just also call it website, all in capital, so you can differentiate between the URL list and the heading. Okay, and then after that, what we need to do is, let's see, we need to add this website right here, and we're going to be calling this web server, and this web server is going to have a URL value of HTTP, and I want to put the IP address of this website right here, which is 192.168.1.2. Enter. Let's go ahead and exit out of here, and we need to do it from here still now. So web server, did I miss something over here? Hmm, let's go ahead and go, let's go ahead and go back into this um, website heading. Let me go ahead and take a look at my configuration and see how I did it previously. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so that's what it is. So I forgot that what we need to do is, give me 1 second. I need to do the URL text first. That's what it is. So when we do the URL text, let me go ahead and we need to actually go back into login message, URL list, and then after the list, we added the heading, and then we need a URL text, and over here is when we add the web server. So from web server, then you do a URL value, and you want to do HTTP 192.168.1.2. Enter. There we go. And then we want to create the default. Let's go ahead and exit out of here. And you want to do a default group policy. And the default, actually, before we do that, we want to do a policy group. And we are going to be calling this SSLVPN default policy. And from over here, what we want to do is we want to add the URL list of this one right here. Make sure that I'm doing this right. Paste it. Okay, good. So the URL list, Clientless VPN, default. And then after that, we need to apply that default. Go ahead and exit. And we do default group policy, and we need to attach this SSLVPN default group policy that we just created. Good. So that is all done. So now if I go to my Windows device, which is right here, up and running, let's go ahead and go into 20.1.1.1. It's going to say that it's not secure. Let's go ahead and continue to that web page. There we go. Let's go ahead and log in with my username that I created, which was Asker, and password was Cisco. There we go. As you can see, now you can see that website that we created, right? So you can see that the heading right here is website, and down over here it says web server, and the web server was this URL text value that we added. So if you click right here, that takes you into this HTTP 0. I don't know why it is doing it like that, but it's saying that it's not secure. Let's go ahead and continue to the web page. When able to connect, the server may not exist or access to it may not be allowed. So what we want to do, let's just go ahead and put this down, and let's go ahead and edit this website because I have not edited that yet. And I just want to do first an if config because it is a Linux device. Interface 0, 255.255.255.0. Um, net mask. Okay, and then we're going to do a route, add default, default gateway, or actually default GW 192.168.1.1, which is this default gateway. Done. And then let's see if we're able to pin my default gateway, make sure that it's working. Good. So after that is done, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and um, do a cd var, and we want to do to www http. There's no directory. Huh. List. So it's not HTTP, it's HTML. And then here I want to do a nano index.html. And I want to edit this right here. I want to edit the title to be, or to say, welcome to gcdtt.com. I want to do the same for the header. Welcome to ccdtt.com. Go ahead and X, yes, save it. So now let's go ahead and go back to my Windows device. Let's go ahead and actually we are going to log out and log back in. So if we go into 20.1.1.1, to go into the SSL website, let's go ahead and refresh. Yep, so let's go ahead and log in with my username and password, and then let's go ahead to this website. Click on go into the website anyways, and there we go. As you can see, it says welcome to ccdtt.com, and here is the website that I used to go in, the one that we just created, the one that we just edited, and you can see that we are using the MD server to go into this website. And if you don't believe me, let's go ahead and do nano index.html, and let's put welcome to ccdtt.com. I told you. Control X, yes, enter. Let's see if we can reload this website. There we go. Welcome to ccdtt.com. I told you. So as you can see, we were able to configure a clientless SSL VPN connection between my Windows device, which is right here, and this Maryland server. And we were connected to this website via the SSL clientless um, VPN connection um, between this router and this Windows device. So this is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on this clientless SSL VPN configuration on a Cisco IOS router. And if you guys enjoy this video, why don't you guys go ahead and follow me on Twitter at CCNA Daily Tips. Also, subscribe to my channel to my YouTube channel where I have plenty of content for the CCNA routing and switching, CCNA security, CCNP security, SIMOS, and also for the AWS Certified Solutions Architect for the associate level. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one, and I love you guys. Bye bye.